hosted by the UCLA Luskin School for Public Affairs. My name is Luna Miller. I am the Assistant Director of External Communications and Diplomatic Relations for the International Youth Conference, as well as the representative from San Diego County. So the International Youth Conference strives to foster global youth engagement by bridging the gap between individuals and decision makers, particularly young students, professionals, and young empowered people. With a focus on the Sustainable Development Goals and the UN's Summit to the Future, the International Youth Conference strives to empower young leaders to make a tangible impact on critical global issues. And so with that, I would like to bring up Ali Mustafa, the founder of IYC and the advisor for the UN Youth Steering Committee from the Department of Global Communications.
Well, thank you, everyone. All the team members, the speakers, and the people who are joining us, especially online, watching us from all around the world for this launch event. The purpose of this event today program is to keep you posted and update you with the planning. And we are 90% done with the planning of the International Youth Conference, and we're still 33 or 32 days away from the conference. And from here onwards, we will just go maximum or rocket start on the campaign and getting more people involved, especially in terms of getting the communities involved with us. And I would like to thank UCLA for hosting us and opening their heart for the International Youth Conference and hosting us at this campus, and the whole community of the Los Angeles and the county of Los Angeles, that they're hosting us, and all the civil society organizations and young people who are supporting us with the International Youth Conference. And we're trying to give a global statement for the Summit of the Future that's going to happen in September at the UN headquarters, like how important it is for the grassroots and the civil society organizations to be the part of the decision-making processes at that level. So at this program, you'll be hearing from the collaborators who help us put together the entire International Youth Conference, not just the 9, and also the young people who are based in Los Angeles and will be speaking at the International Youth Conference. And not just that, they are also helping us with planning of the process. So I briefly want to update all of you with where we are with the planning and what we have achieved so far with the planning of the International Youth Conference 9. It is going to happen at from May 30th to June 2nd. The conference itself will happen from May 30th to June 2nd, and the opening day will be on the 30th June. That is Thursday, and then the conference will start. The program will start from the 31st May and will go on till June 2nd. So far, until now, we have 8,401 registrants until 1 hour ago, that we counted the total number of registered participants from 176 countries. And we are still 1 month away. We close our registrations on May 20th. This is the last time that you can register for the conference, is on May 20th worldwide, even if you're attending online or you're attending in person. May 20th is the day, but 8,401 is a big number. That is worldwide. And for that, we have the RSVP, or the interest of the people who want to attend in person is 1,200 almost. Last time we checked, it was 1,165 people who are interested in attending in person here at UCLA. But we're pretty much sure that what we are expecting is 300 to 400 people that will be attending from all around the world. They'll be traveling to attend the conference here. They're based in Los Angeles. Also, they're traveling from all around the US to attend this conference. Most important thing that I would like to announce here is the inclusion and diversity. So you can see on the screen, like we are very particular in the inclusion. The aim of the International Youth Conference was to have the global engagement, have the global inclusion. Uh, we wanted to reach young people out. This is how we started the International Youth Conference with the Civil Society Conference in 2019 in Salt Lake City. The aim was to reach out young people and continue engaging young people that we engaged during the Civil Society Conference in 2019 with the help and support of the UN Department of Global Communication. And we wanted to continue the outreach and inclusion, and that's how it was started, the International Youth Conference, that we want to include young people into the decision-making process, into the planning process, and whatever we do with the United Nations and now worldwide. So the conference is now going to be translated into 24 different languages in real time. As you will be sitting here listening to the conference, you can go online and you can switch, you can access our YouTube or Facebook or the app that we have, and there you will have the different language options where you can choose different languages, and you can listen to the conference, or you can also read the subtitles into 24 different languages. And we are accounting on 24 different languages. Like we are still 24 is not the end. 24 that we can confirm right now, that's going to be in 24. And this is one of the effort that we're trying to make this conference as inclusive as possible. And then conference not gonna take place here in UCLA in Los Angeles. It's headquartered here. The main base of International Youth Conference 9 is UCLA, but it's gonna be taking place simultaneously in Mexico, in UAE, in Egypt, Pakistan, India, and Czech Republic simultaneously. And we're still counting. We're receiving more requests from other places, from our advocates that they want to organize this conference in their countries. So as we will be live here in Los Angeles, as soon as we end here, the conference will start in UAE, and then it will start in Egypt, in Pakistan, and India at the same time, because the same time zone. And then in Czech Republic, once they will end there, we will start it again here the next day. So for the 2 or 3 days, gonna be live all across the world. They will be doing the conference in their own countries, following the same agenda, following the same theme that we have, but it will be more in their local language, in their local context. They will be having a global conversation in a local context in 5 different countries at the same time on the same topic. It will be live, so anyone who want to be part of the conversations that's going global in Mexico, in Pakistan, or India, or Chad, or UAE is going to be in their local languages, they can go online and can be part of the conversations there as well. And it's hybrid in nature, this conference. So even if you're not able to attend in person anywhere, and we know that there are restrictions, there are problems, it comes with the cost. And that is why we go online. And when we go online, we are engaging the larger youth community and larger group of young people who can be part of this conference. And with the support of language, 24 different languages, they're definitely not going to miss a lot of the content, and they can be part of the conversation. And there are so many different ways. The activities that are planned that you can see, we have the plenary sessions, we have workshops, and we have panel discussions. This time around, the focus is more on the workshop, where young people can come together and talk with each other. And they will be talking on different topics, different issues. Every day there are going to be 3 panels and 1 keynote, and 9 workshops. 9 workshops are going to be simultaneously running with simultaneously on different topics, where they can be part of the conversation. So it's not just listening, they're not just participating in a conference or a conversation. That is where they just have to listen to the speakers. They can now, in the workshop mode, they will be collaborating with each other and coming out with something substantive. We have 48 sessions in person going to take place here in UCLA. And there are going to be 28 online sessions. So 48 plus 28, these is the number of sessions that just gonna be part of the main program. We have not counted the program that's going to take place in different countries. So we are still onto it. Total number of speakers and presenters till now, what we have is 247 different speakers and presenters are going to be at this conference, will be speaking, presenting, and 70% of those speakers are young people under the age of 34. So we are trying to make this conversation as inclusive as possible for youth to be part of this conversation. For in this edition or any edition of the International Youth Conference, you take the lead. They will be having the lead. They have the lead in planning, and they have the lead in presenting and speaking, because the model is that young people need to be heard. They need to be at the policy making tables. They need to be at the decision making tables. And we provide this platform at the International Youth Conference where the people who are high level can actually listen. And we do have colleagues right now join at the backstage from Nairobi and New York from different UN agencies. And they will be part of the conversation in terms that they will be observing you, that what you're talking about. You can talk to them. You will be presenting your case to them. And this time they will not be presenting their case. They will be talking to you, but the mode is that you talk to the world leaders now. And so we are presenting that model here. Most important thing is May 29. May 29, when the team of the International Youth Conference will participate in community activities day here in Los Angeles in appreciation of the community of Los Angeles for hosting the International Youth Conference. On May 29, we will be volunteering with the support and help of the Buddhist Tutsi Foundation, that they're sponsoring us to hold this activity. We will be doing the volunteer activity at their headquarters, which is absolutely beautiful. We visited there yesterday. We saw different activities that we can be part of it. And we were moved to see how much different activities and things and philanthropic work that is going on there. So we will be participating with them over there. Anyone who want to be part of it can be part of it, who will be in Los Angeles, based in Los Angeles, or traveling from outside to attend this conference. It's open, and they can reach us out. We will sign them in, and we can talk about the logistics of that day. Then after Sushi Foundation's headquarters, we will be going to Manhattan Beach, and we'll be taking part in the beach restoration activity on 29 in Los Angeles. And we have collaborated with another foundation for that, that's gonna be there. But it's gonna be looking forward to it, and this is a way that we like to show the support and appreciation, and however we can participate with the local community here and help them with the sustainable development. This is the QR code, as you can see. Not this one. Sorry, this is like our social media links that you can follow us on social media, remain updated on what we are doing. You can write to us on the email address that is there. If you have any suggestion, they were still open for the registrations. Registrations are still open, and also you still have the opportunity, if you want to donate something, if you want to fund to the International Youth Conference or help us with any resources, that we are open for that as well, to receive resources, funds, and donations, yet to make this conference as smooth as possible. And looking forward to answer any questions that is online or in the room later in the day. Thank you, Luna. Okay.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Ali, for introducing the conference. We're all very excited, especially about the inclusivity aspect of it. That's something that we're really trying to highlight right now. I would like to bring up Hector Valencia. He is a faculty member here at UCLA in the Department of Social Work. Thank you so much.
Hello, everybody. We're really excited to have this program here, partnering with IYC, and being able to actually privileged enough to host the organization and the program that's coming up. Here in this building, here at UCLA in the Department of Social Welfare, but in the Luskin School of Public Affairs, we're kind of a unique program that we have an undergraduate public affairs program, as well as 3 different graduate programs: urban planning, public policy, and social welfare. And one of the things that we hope and we pride ourselves in our department is for social change, and especially engaging, encouraging our youth to take charge and to take action, especially when they see policies are either unjust or need to be modified and changed. So we're really excited to have this event here. We're looking forward to the day and hopefully to see as many people here as possible. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Hector. I'd like to bring up Deborah Boudreau. She is the CEO of the Buddhist Tzu Foundation, a UN ECOSOC accredited organization. So thank you so much, Deborah. Welcome to the stage.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, no matter where you are. We have so many people in the crowd. Thank you, Ali, and thank you, all the team. Buddha Tzu Foundation are very, very grateful and happy that we can join this program. This year, IYC happened to be in UCLA, and thank you to UCLA to host this platform. Buddha Tzu Foundation has been in California since 1984. So we are very grateful we have the opportunity to share with all walks of life what kind of program you may have. So it's going to be the community engagement program. We have 4 major missions: from charity, from medical, from education, from humanitarian touch. And from there, we go international disaster response, marrow donor registry, and also environmental awareness. Voila, climate urgency, everybody have to know, right? Then we have community volunteers. So these 8 different programs, we would like to invite May 29, everyone join with us. We will provide the transportation, and you can come to the beautiful San Dimas campus. And right there, we're going to get you to work, the work to touch down the Mother Earth, the soil, the water, the fire, the winds, the 4 elements to combine the whole universe. So climate change, we all know it's around us. But how are we going to prepare? How to do mitigation, adaptation, how to put your action into the daily so-called social service behavior improvement. I'm not going to change you, but we're going to share the improvement know-how technology. So Tzu means compassion. Ji means relief, not sushi, not Taiji. It's Tzu Ji, serving with compassion. I'm very grateful. I see a lot of our UN friends, Hawa, and then Alexandra, all around the on the crowd. Thank you so much, and very grateful. Looking forward to welcome everyone to Southern California, Los Angeles. Come to Tzu San Dimas campus. We're going to welcome you, feed you, and make you to work. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We're all very excited for the in-person restoration event on May 29th. It's going to be fantastic. We're going to get our hands dirty and restore part of the beach. So it's going to be great, and I hope most of us can attend. Next, live from New York, I'd like to introduce Dr. Miroslav Polzer. He is the CEO of IAAI Glocha, a UN ECOSOC accredited organization.
Hi, everyone. Greetings from New York, from the garden of the UNICEF building here next to the UN. It's a pleasure to welcome you and to express our full support to the International Youth Conference. It's really such a timely endeavor, and it's really great that the University of California is willing and supporting this endeavor to connect young people with global goals, with the work of the United Nations system. So IAI, my UN accredited civil society organization, the name is International Association for the Advancement of Innovative Approaches to Global Challenges. And we believe that global family, global community could and should deliver better in addressing global challenges. And this year we have the UN Summit of the Future, where the UN system is looking on transformative change. How can the system deliver better? And a key ingredient for success in this field is youth engagement. And IYC is doing a great job to bringing young people to the stage and giving people a voice who otherwise would not be connected with the UN. And therefore, full support for IYC and for the IYC's initiative for an informal youth summit of the future. My organization, IAI Glotcher, will support you fully and provide all the channels and resources that we have to make it a big success.
Thank you, Dr. Miroslav Polzer. Have been one of our founding members of the International Youth Conference and astonished supporter and the sponsor for the International Youth Conference over the year. Thank you, Miro, for all the work you do. So next is like the most exciting part of this program today. And that is going to be like we're doing the International Youth Conference, but and also in Los Angeles and in California. So it remains incomplete if we don't hear from the young leaders and young people who are actually helping us organize the conference. They'll be speaking at the conference, and they're from the Los Angeles. So I would like to invite Emma from the Soka University to take the seat over there. And next, I would like to invite Yuvika from the UCLA, who's the president of the United Nations Association of the UCLA. And next, I would like to invite Luna Miller to join the stage, who is from the San Diego University and also the assistant director for the communications, external communication. So welcome and thank you for being here. And once you will provided the stage, I would like you to I think I'll give you this mic there on the table. So we would love to hear from all of you about the International Youth Conference 9, how you feel about it and how important it is. So we'll start first with Emma as a perspective from a young person.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much, Ali Mustafa. And thank you also to Ruby Guillen for everything and putting this together and giving this opportunity for youth. I speak to you at a very pivotal moment in our history. 2024 is a landmark year in history for democracy, where we know that more than half of the world's youth and the population of the world will go to the polls and they will vote. And it is really important that we are informed, that we are aware of these critical issues that we are facing. We need to think about climate change. We need to think about artificial intelligence. We need to think about wars that are happening and continue to happen at an unprecedented level. And are we informed? Are we prepared to be able to tackle these issues? And now more than ever, it is so important to have the youth at an international level come to this space so that we can have a meaningful dialogue, but beyond dialogue, take action. Because without action, it is just simply empty words. And so that is why now more than ever, we also need to support our youth. I am president of the United Nations Association chapter of Soka University, and I'm very proud of the United Nations Association, especially because this morning they released a statement for the youth, and I would like to share with you that they published a statement that in regards to the crises with climate change and what is currently escalating in the Middle East, they encourage students across the country to demand accountability, resolution, and protection of human rights. They call for governments and non-state actors for a humanitarian aid and to acknowledge our role as youth for global advocacy. We also must recognize that nearly 70% of members of the United Nations Association USA are under the age of 26, and they spread across 160 campus chapters. We believe in the power of youth to enact real change. College campuses serve as hubs as intellectual discourse, and we welcome diverse perspectives where ideas can be exchanged and challenged safely. So we need to allow youth internationally to exercise their freedom of speech and their right to peaceful dialogue as well as protest as a way to have vital role in shaping and fostering change in our world. We need to continue to support the youth. Thank you. And we need to allow them to have advocacy resources, emphasizing the need for civil discourse and community engagement. We need to encourage all young people who believe in human rights, peace, and equality to advocate for change without shutting them down. And so it is my honor and pleasure to be here to share this space with you and to have the platform of the International Youth Conference to be able to advocate for these changes. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next, Eureka, I would like to give the floor to you.
Thank you, Ali, and thank you, Emma, for this was exactly what I wanted to say as well. As president of the United Nations Association at UCLA, I have worked closely with Emma. We echo the same ideals, we echo the same principles, and it fills my heart with so much pride to know that we're all coming here together to advocate for change and to give the youth the voice to make that change. It is with immense pride that I welcome you all to the IYC here at UCLA. As the president of the UNA at UCLA and a proud Bruin, witnessing our university play host to this monumental event fills me with profound happiness. The challenges we face today are complex and multifaceted, spanning from climate change to poverty to inequality to war to conflict. But despite the enormity of these obstacles, we stand undeterred, united by a shared vision for a better, more sustainable future. The IYC 9 has provided us with a platform for igniting inspiring dialogue and fostering global collaboration, showcasing the power of collective action and our unwavering commitment to creating a better world. We at UNA at UCLA have relentlessly worked towards advancing the UN Sustainable Development Goals for a more sustainable and equitable future. And it is a tremendous honor for me and for our organization to be a part of this remarkable gathering to further our cause to raise awareness, facilitate discussions, and encourage active participation from students and the broader community on issues of global significance. The IYC 9 is more than just a conference, it is a beacon of hope. It is a testament to the resilience and determination of us as global youth. As we embark on this transcendent journey, let us embrace the spirit of unity, collaboration, and resilience that defines us. Together, we have the power to shape a future where no one is left behind, where sustainability is not just a buzzword, but a way of life, and where the aspirations of youth are given the attention and respect they deserve. I'm eagerly anticipating the dialogues, the debates, and deliberations that will unfold at the IYC, confident in the knowledge that passion and determination of our youth will pave the way for a brighter, more equitable, and more sustainable tomorrow. Welcome once again to UCLA and to IYC 9. Let us embark on this journey together, united in the commitment to creating a better world for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Eureka. Luna, you have the floor now.
Hi again, everyone. I had my quick little intro, but again, I am a volunteer with IYC. I help do the external communication and the diplomatic relations. And I'd like to echo Emma and Yubika's statements about youth empowerment and youth passion and these critical issues that everyone is facing in the world. And it's our role as the youth to take charge on these issues and to take the next steps because it is our future that we're forming. And IYC is here to bridge the gap between the policymakers that are right now in charge of these issues and the young people that have the passion and the drive to commit to them. Oftentimes, I feel like in global relations, NGOs, United Nations especially, it can be hard to bridge that gap between the youth that feel empowered, the youth that are passionate, and the people who are making the decisions. This is where IYC comes into play. We want to bridge that gap. We want to be the connection point between these larger NGOs and the United Nations to get those youth voices heard. There is nothing more important than empowering young people. We are on the ground. We see what is happening firsthand around us, and we have things to say. We have important policies. We have important ideas that we'd want to share with global leaders. And so through IYC, through the upcoming conference, through UNA, we're able to share those ideas. We're able to become empowered, able to share the stage with other youth. Yeah, I'm very fortunate to be here, very fortunate to be involved. And this is just the start of a larger movement to get younger people, young leaders, students, even any professionals at any age that have voices that want to be heard to enact on a global stage. So thank you so much.
Thank you. So quickly, I have a unified question from all of you, or a remark that what is one thing that you want to tell young people all around the world that if they will be part of the International Youth Conference, what will happen, what they will be learning, what's going to happen from them, and especially from the perspective of youth, it's really important coming from your perspective and also being the host of this conference. So a quick remarks on that, starting with you, Emma.
Thank you so much for the question. And I must say that I am seeing from the live stream the comments that we have people joining us from Kenya, from India, from Central Africa, all around the world. And so I think the emphasis with this is that this is the International Youth Conference. I have the privilege to sit here before you today for this press conference. But we must recognize that there are people who do not have the privilege to be here in person, to have these resources, to be able to, again, have this platform. And we must be inclusive of these people. We have to recognize that they are joining us from around the world. How can we, with this hybrid format, be inclusive of these people? And again, we need to lift indigenous voices. We need to lift the voices of regions that face the digital divide. We need to be conscious and thinking about these people and their participation, because again, we must recognize, for instance, that there are regions of the world where most of the population is youth. In sub-Saharan Africa, 70% of the continent's population is under the age of 30. So we really need to be conscious with how are we designing this program? Is it relevant? Is it inclusive? Is it equitable for these people in these regions? And I also, I reiterate this, that you do not need to have a platform to be an influencer, to be an activist. For everybody that is listening right now, where you are joining from, the activism, the influencing begins with your community. You don't need to have a lot of followers. Invite your friends, invite your family, invite your community, everybody to be part of this conference. We need your voices, we need your input, we need your opinions. If we do not have it, we cannot shape this conference to have the hopeful outcomes that you want. So again, yes, I'm even seeing more countries, Pakistan, Afghanistan. We need all of you, and we need to be conscious to include them in this conference. Thank you so much.
Eureka, next.
Thank you, Emma. I think, again, I do echo a lot of what Emma says, but one thing that I truly do believe in is that as youth, we often feel that change is out of reach. We think that we don't have access to these institutions of the United Nations, of other various eminent institutions that are working to create change. We think they're outdated. We think that they don't echo some of the ideals that we believe in. We think of AI, we think of regulation, we think of privacy, we think of climate change the way that most other people do not. So this is your chance. This is your opportunity to say, my voice matters, and this is why I matter. This platform serves as the perfect opportunity to say, my country has been facing these issues, and this is how I want them solved. My community has been facing these issues, and this is how I want them represented. So take this platform. It is a beacon of hope for you. It is the time to make change, and it is the time to define how the next 30 years of your life are going to look like. The change, the power is now in your hands, and to harness it is in your hands as well. Take the opportunity to talk to other people who have the same problems as you, who have different perspectives to you, and embrace them. Learn them and then run with them. This is our this is our chance. This is our time to shine, and let's make the most of it.
Thank you. Luna?
Something that I would really like to emphasize is that the International Youth Conference is for everyone. It's for students, it's for professionals, it's for older professionals, it's for anybody that has passion, that has drive, and that wants to make an impact. The emphasis of the Sustainable Development Goals within IYC creates a network for anybody to get involved within their field, within their passions. There is an opportunity and a place to really dive into what you are focused in, into what you're passionate about, and to make a lasting impact in those niche sectors. And like Emma was saying, there are people from all over the world. We're striving to make this conference as inclusive as possible, to reach over those digital divides, to reach to every corner of the world, because everybody, no matter where they are in the world, are going to have some shared problems. Everybody experiences climate change. Everyone is feeling the impact of artificial intelligence. And so we want to make sure we're bridging that gap between people of different cultures to bring them together and see what ideas can come from collaboration, from people from Afghanistan and the United States that might share different ideals but have similar problems and can reach together to create global lasting solutions. And so that's the focus of IYC, bridging these networks and bringing people together to create lasting impact that reaches across the world, that helps everybody, not just specific communities.
Thank you so much for all of you for this wonderful, wonderful words. Just the concluding remarks, very quick and short from all of you three, one by one. Let's start with you, the concluding remarks for this panel.
Thank you so much. For concluding remarks, I really like the philosophy of Ubuntu, which is, I am because we are. And so again, just what everybody was saying, it's like how we can encompass everybody together so that we stand together and we participate, and it is inclusive. So again, this is not about segregated communities, but it's about everybody coming together in this international space. So with that, let us all advocate for each other, and again, to lift each other up, to be each other's voices, to make the change that we really truly want to see in the world. Thank you.
Thank you. Eureka.
What I would want to say in the end is that the world is your oyster. The time is now. This is your time to shine. Take it and run with it, like I said before. You have the power to make change, you have the platform to make change, and you have the power to have your voice heard. Whether you're in Philippines, whether you're know how you want us to react to it, and we want to know how you want to react to it. Take this opportunity to tell us your story, because every story matters, and we are here to hear your story and to make sure that your story does not get muffled in the voices that happen, or the larger discourse that takes place across the world. We want to give it the power that it deserves, and we want to give it the power to make the impact that it has the opportunity and the capability to create.
Luna?
Well, Well, folks, I can say nothing but that I'm very excited. I'm excited to be part of a network that uplifts and empowers everybody that it comes across. I'm excited for the collaborations that are gonna happen, the fostering of deeper relations between different peoples to create new ideas to uplift everyone else. So the baseline of all of this is I'm excited. I'm excited for what's to come. I'm excited to be part of this process and to have met such fantastic people and to continue working and seeing what new ideas and what new joy can spring from this.
Thank you so much for joining us today. You can have the seat on the floor. Thank you. Quickly, I would like to now move to the next segment where I would like to invite for the conversations for the collaborators from the UN agencies who are really helping us. And joining us live from Nairobi, Kenya, Alexandre Caldas, who is the Chief and Director at the UN Environment Program. Alexander, you have the floor now.
Well, good morning and good afternoon, good evening to everyone. It's a great pleasure on behalf of UN Environment to participate, to collaborate in this fantastic opportunity of the International Youth Conference. I do believe after this extraordinary youth panel on the inclusion, it's difficult not to believe that the leadership potential of the youth to actually be the leaders of change and the leaders of tomorrow. In moments, I've heard already, in moments where we face a planetary crisis on the different areas of the environment, such as climate change, such as biodiversity loss and pollution and waste management, we do have a responsibility to leave a legacy, and there's no one better than the youth to make that change. I would sincerely encourage us to work together. I've also heard that it's not only about the environment. Humanity face challenges on the nexus of peace, security, sustainable development, humanitarian action, and human rights. So basically, only with empowering the youth, because you are the ones, the leaders that are going to change us today for having a future and tomorrow. As I used to say, and I will complete my big message is, if we need to be worried about the future, is because we know that we are going to spend there the rest of our lives. Karibu sana, and greetings from Nairobi, Africa, to participate in this worldwide event. Thank you.
Be doing a conference here in Los Angeles right after 1 month. Next, I would like to give the floor to Ms. Hawa Diallo, who have been a vivid supporter of the International Youth Conference, and she's joining us live from New York, and she is the chief of the UN Civil Society unit with the UN Department of Global Communications, and one of the founding members of the International Youth Conference. Hawa, you have the floor.
Thanks so much, Ali, and greetings to everybody. Honestly, I am floored. I don't even know what to say because, much has been said already. And as everybody was speaking, I really was going back from the very beginning, 2019, Salt Lake City, 68th UN Civil Society Conference. That's where the IYC bubbled up from, where Ali was the co-chair of the subcommittee to plan that conference, along with Ashu and Caitlin, who were all members of the DGC Civil Society Youth Steering Committee. And I worked very closely with them to make sure that that conference in Salt Lake City had a good number of young people participating at the conference, before the conference, and after the conference. And with that, we had about a third of the young people, third of the participants, 6,000 who were young people, ages 18 to 32. We also had a lot of wide consultation before, and young people also having simultaneous conferences as we were speaking. And these young people, led by the coaches like Ali, did not want to stop. They wanted to continue engaging with one another. And that's how IYC came up. I'm getting emotional now because hearing everybody makes me know, I don't know if my job is done, but it's been done well, at least almost to the end. Because there's not much for me to add. I have the voices of young people that are charting forward. And I've seen the evolution of IYC to where we are now. I'm going back as you were talking, I'm thinking when there were 3 or 4 young people in the room, Ali, Enes, Iqbal, then moving on to Shirabe, to Priyanka, delegates who were in the IYC now become directors and are taking charge. This is what youth-led development and youth empowerment and meaningful youth engagement should mean. I'm about to retire from the UN in about 15 days. And I think that's why I'm so emotional, because I see the value of supporting young people and supporting them in a way where they are actually holding on to leadership and leading the way. And I'm sorry, I'm becoming emotional because it really means a lot to me when I hear everybody in the room speaking, because I know where we got started and I see just how much everybody has grown, including myself. And I see how these young people are really taking control of the narrative and of the dialogue, and how they're really using youth passion, innovation, dynamism to really move forward and to really show us how it needs to be done. I see IYC going from a virtual platform, because we had a reason to start it virtual, giving access to young people who cannot be in the room, but also appreciating the fact that hybrid brings in a value also. I love the fact that we are in spaces where we can tap into the local community and where we can do some type of action in the local community. So I'm looking forward to coming to Los Angeles and really activating myself, in some of these activities that we'll do locally. Now, as I mentioned, IYC, I'm looking forward to the informal Youth Summit of the Future in September. And I can see how we will carry on the voices from LA into New York. But I also want to point out the Civil Society Conference, which I think Ali mentioned early. The 2024 conference will happen 9 and 10 May in Nairobi, Kenya. So I hope I'll be seeing my colleague in UNEP there. But that conference is a milestone in the roadmap towards the summit in the future, of the future in September. And again, just like the Salt Lake City, the conference in Nairobi is being fueled and pushed by civil society, many of them young people. Our 2 co-chairs are Carol Ayengo from Help Age International and Udara Youssef from Stimson Center and Coalition for the UN We Need. And it's being conceptualized and designed and put together by over 10 subcommittees. I will talk about the Intergenerational Youth Committee, because that is what I think, all the committees are relevant, but that's one of the committees that I, champion. And it's amazing to see the innovative activities that they have planned for everybody across the generations, across the ages, across themes coming to Nairobi. So one of the things that we want to have as a key output of the conference in Nairobi is to have impact coalitions. And I know there's one on meaningful engagement of the young people. So I hope to see the IYC constituency also going to that coalition. And there are coalitions about AI, coalitions on sustainable development, sustainable future. And the key is to have these impact coalitions become a space where we can coalesce ideas, innovation, not just as civil society, not just as young people, but with other stakeholders, member states, private sectors, or academia. I love the fact that IYC has attracted the academic community, because there's so much that we need to learn from academia, and so much that they can offer also. I think I've said so much already, but I really truly am thankful to everybody, thankful to the donors and to the partners who are in Los Angeles and to the other ones who have been there from the beginning and who continue to support IYC. I welcome IOM that has come in from last IYC and UNEP, looking forward to working with you. UN Habitat has always been there. GLOCHA. For me, again, I don't think my work is done, but I think I'm three quarters there. And I want to thank Ali, who has been really the push. If you talk to Ali, he'll tell you many times when he comes with these ideas, I have a big fat no. And he never takes no for an answer. He keeps pushing, coming up with ideas, and also sort of incentivizing other young leaders to bring us to where we are. So thank you very much. Karibunu sana. Looking forward to seeing you in Nairobi. And again, thanks for the great work. Over to you, Ali.
Thank you so much, Hava, for your kind words, and really appreciate all the help that you're giving, and also the other UN collaborators who are joining the forces with us over there. So we will be having a round of question and answers. We have a couple of more speakers to join, and I would like to invite Ruby Guyen to take the floor here and say a few words, because she have been very instrumental. So IYC 9 would not be possible in Los Angeles without her, because originally we were going to Tampa, Florida, and she made us change the decision in 30 minutes to come to Los Angeles, convinced her, and Hector was there in the room in New York with us, and we had this conversation like it's 30 minutes to end the International Youth Conference 8, and we have to announce the next venue before we end the conference. We're going Florida. She's like, no, you cannot go to Florida. You have to come to Orange County. You have to come to LA, because it's the most diverse city in the United States, where you will have more young people and more diverse voices. And Hector there backed what she said, and they're like, we will make it happen. And then we have to change the whole announcement procedure, make the flyer, everything that we're going to Los Angeles. And it was a decision that we have to take. And I would say that was a risky decision, because you are changing a decision in 30 minutes. But if you don't take risk, you will never grow. And if you don't want to take risk, I think you should just be sleeping at home, because without a risk, it can happen. Ruby, you have the floor. Please, 3 minutes, 4 minutes.
All right. Hi, everybody from LA County. I'm very honored to be here. And I always point that he's my boss. He's my boss. He's my leader. I follow him because this is his gig. I believe in your work. I understand, but I believe in your work, and I believe what you're doing. And because I believe in what you're doing, I'm willing to devote my time and my energy and my efforts in your cause. It's about your cause, right? So from a professional perspective, I started from LA County as a social worker. I'm a fatal critical incident child abuse investigator. I just retired. So I understand violence and what does it mean to have a child in plight, child in crisis. And so how do we take the local language here in LA County as it relates to children in crisis and create a global platform? Because crisis, grief and loss is a universal construct around the world. So how can we take a child that's in crisis, a youth that's hungry, a young adult that has no job, and how do we create that voice that's universal around the world, right? So I'm always talking about the LA County process, but in general, you could take any issue in the world and try to come up with a local construct and find a solution for that local construct. And you could broadcast that through the IYC network and reach out to other people with similar issues. And if you guys could work together and find a solution and you put it in IYC, that means that becomes a universal construct around the world. So for example, I'm a hardcore child abuse advocate. So if there's work here in California, I'm focusing on how do we reduce fatal child abuse? Can this work across the US? And out of the US, hold on, go ahead.
You continue.
Okay, sorry. From the US perspective, from child abuse, can we take the child abuse initiative that's happening here in research purposes and then broadcast it around the world? I went to a conference at the UN, and the Queen of Sweden was talking about child abuse. And I was talking with her about my role as an investigator in Los Angeles County. And I made mention about the role of social work and child abuse from a global perspective. And I said, we have some research. I literally provided her with the research from LA County. And so it's how do we create that impact from a local initiative to a national perspective to a global perspective, right? So my goal with IYC is how to take the language at the local level, and create such a dialogue that it becomes a universal construct to share with the world. Again, it's all about solution-based, it's about action, it's about creating the narrative that will help empower our youth, our young adults, and the people that are advocates for the youth. That's about it. Thank you.
Thank you.
You gotta flip it.
Yeah.
You flip it?
That's fine. Thank you, Ruby, for your contribution, for making IYC 9 happen in Los Angeles. And I would like to invite another young speaker who's among us. And she's a peace activist, and she is really good at what she do. She talks about inclusion. She will be the speaker at the IYC at the couple of programs. And I would like to give Anastasia floor to say a few words about the youth inclusion and especially about the International Youth Conference 9. Anastasia, if you have.
Hello, everyone. My name is Anastasia. I'm currently a student at Columbia. I'm a senior, but I took a gap semester this spring to work full-time at the Nuclear Age Peace Foundation, which is a nonprofit that's centered in Santa Barbara, and they're also doing work at the UN. And I had been interning for them for about a year, and I'm really coming from a background of studying sustainable development and political science. And as I reached my senior year, I realized that any conception of peace building and of nuclear weapons issues had been completely absent from my education so far. And that's after 2 years studying at Sciences Po Paris, studying political humanities, and then at Columbia. And I really thought that was absolutely unacceptable, given that nuclear weapons are one of the most dangerous threats to not only human health, environmental health, but to sustainability as a whole, and to us having a planet for future generations. And in my opinion, we are currently in the most dangerous geopolitical situation as it relates to nuclear weapons that we've ever been to. We have 2 wars going on right now, both including a nuclear power. And I can't tell you the number of sustainability conferences I've been to where nuclear weapons are not even discussed, not an issue. They're not even included in a panel, let alone a keynote speech. So I'm so grateful to Ali and IYC for giving me the opportunity to include these topics in a main section of the conference and to have these dialogue with youth, because I also believe that I've been so inspired by how much youth have taken up the climate change conversation. I think so much of the changes in sustainability that we've seen on local and federal government levels, as well as in corporations, have come from the youth climate movement. And in my opinion, the nuclear weapons issues ties directly into the climate change topic, because not only, as I mentioned, is it a threat to sustainability, but if we have a nuclear war, that causes nuclear winter. That's the most severe climate change we would ever experience as a society, and we would never be able to recover from it. So I'm super passionate about getting more youth to understand the legacy of nuclear use, the legacy of nuclear testing, the conception of nuclear justice. We have so many victims here, even in the United States, in New Mexico, in Nevada, in Utah, that have suffered from past nuclear testing, mostly communities of color and indigenous communities. We also have communities around the world, in Kazakhstan, in the Pacific Islands, in Australia. So many people that continue to suffer astronomical rates of cancer, illness, and issues with reproductive health because of the over 1,000 nuclear testing that the world has done. And nuclear testing, once again, is not something I ever learned in any one of my classes, which is honestly scary. Like I barely learned about Hiroshima and Nagasaki, but didn't learn anything about the fact that the United States tested over 500 nuclear bombs, all of them dozens and dozens, some hundreds of times more powerful than the bombs dropped in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The only difference is that they weren't dropped directly on population centers, but if you read about the nuclear justice, you'll see that for many communities, no one was evacuated, or if they were evacuated, they were evacuated for 24 hours, 48 hours. They were all sent back into their communities afterwards. We have entire Marshallese communities who are no longer able to inhabit the islands that their ancestors that were fully their homes. And it's an issue that I'm still learning more about. I would say I'm fairly new to it as well, but I'm just passionate about learning alongside other youth and bringing this to people's attention. So again, thank you to IYC. I'm excited to make the bridge between climate and nuclear, and also to get as many young people involved as possible. I agree with a previous speaker who said that it was incredibly important to get the academic community involved, because seeing the research on the damaging health impacts of nuclear testing and radioactivity is an incredibly powerful accelerator for disarmament. And yeah, I'm very looking forward to the conference, and thank you.
Thank you so much. Are there any questions from the floor? If anyone have any question, any comment, please raise your hand. I will be happy to answer that. But there are a few questions that I want to address that were online, and specifically about the conference and the visa and the travel. So why we have the conference hybrid is the reason, like if you cannot travel to the conference where it's taking place, it's online, and you should be part of that conversation online and make a local impact, because that's what it's all about, that making impact that is local. And having local impact is really important. So if you're not able to attend the conference in Los Angeles in person, you can always attend online. And then there are conferences taking place in 5 different countries as well. Other than that, like there are several options of how you can be part of the conference if you cannot be present in person. And for the concluding remarks, I would again like to give the floor to Alexander and Hawa for the final concluding remarks of the launching program today before we end. Alexander, you have the floor.
Well, I do believe, Ali, once again, congratulations and a deep message of gratitude to you as a leader of this immense movement, bringing the youth together as leaders of the future. We are in this year, in a special year, unfortunately, for the very bad reasons of the peace and security conflicts that affect all humanity, that compound all the other environmental challenges, humanitarian challenges, etc., etc. But we are also at a time where the Summit of the Future, if bringing together the voice of the youth as actual leaders of that future, it can have a tremendous impact. I'm a true believer that we don't leave, more senior people and elder people, we don't leave a good legacy for the future, but we are still at a point in time where the youth, if put in leadership positions, in change positions, they can turn around the things, and they can actually produce an outstanding future. You can count with us again, UNEP, UN Environment, as part of your initiative, and karibu sana to all of you, and the greetings from Nairobi, Africa.
Thank you. Hawa, are you there? Are you able to listen to us?
Yes, I am. I'm here. My network is a little shoddy, but I'm hearing everything.
Yeah, for the final concluding remarks for today.
Well, what can I say? I think all of it's been said already. I'm really excited. Number one, to come to Nairobi. So obviously need Alexander. And then also to carry that energy and that enthusiasm from Nairobi to IYC. Because a lot of people who will be in Nairobi, I know, will definitely be participating in IYC. And I look forward to see the change factor from this conference as we move into the summit of the future. Thank you so much for your hard work.
Thank you so much, Hawa. Thank you so much, Alexander. And thank you so much, all the speakers and the supporters who are here in the room. We're looking forward to have a great International Youth Conference 9. And just I want to repeat myself, that's International Youth Conference, not just you're going to have the conversation or talk, listen to the speakers or talk together. The action starts when we're done with the conference. We go do the projects. When we are done with the International Youth Conference, this is what happened, that we encourage young people in their local communities to make an impact, do a project, and report it back to us based on the learning of the International Youth Conference. Once they will report it to us, we do our monitoring and evaluation, and then compose a report about it, that this is the impact on ground, and then present it to the people at the United Nations and other places, where we give the data. With the help of the data, we show that people on the grassroots, when given the power and when they're included, can make impact. The case that we're trying to put is that the UN Sustainable Development Goals and the peace and everything is not possible until we have the grassroots included into the decision-making processes. We need young people to be in the decision-making processes. If they are included into the decision-making processes, the situation can be really, really different. We need the table. We need the seat at the table. We need to be at the table where we can make such important decisions and make impact on ground. This is the whole point that we're trying to prove to the people in the headquarters at different places in the UN system and also worldwide. So when we're done with the International Youth Conference 9, we are directly moving towards the International Youth Conference 10. That is going to be the informal youth summit of the future. And we're trying to create again a statement for that, with the outcome of the International Youth Conference 9 will be composed into the form of a declaration and a demand of youth from the grassroots that is going to be submitted to the President of the UN General Assembly, the Secretary General of the UN, head of the member states, the member states of the UN, the European Union, and the World Bank and other multilateral organizations. When we said we will do it, we do it. We mean it. We're gonna do this, and we're gonna present this outcome declaration to them, that this is how desperately young people want to get involved into the decision-making processes. Even if you're not involved, you're doing something on your own. We are still gonna do. We are still gonna take this action, either involved or not. It's better we can get involved, make this thing happen. But then again, we have our own way of doing things in a way that we are doing it. The platform of IYC have proved that. So we're looking forward to have a great conversation and a good 4 days at the UCLA from 29 to the June 2nd in terms of IYC 9, and create a really meaningful impact after that. Thank you everyone for joining us online from all around the world and being part of the conversation. And we'll see you in a month at the International Youth Conference. Thank you, everyone.